Soul family, let me tell you this. The reason why planet Earth and all the planets in the Omniverse has been so messed up for so many years is because a lot of a lot of these individuals have been hoodwinked and manipulated to breed with a lot of Nephilim fallen angels, breed with reptilians, because a lot of reptilians out here have been disguising themselves to look human like. That's the reason why you have so many dysfunctional families, because it's a lot of fallen angel nephilims, draconians, reptilians, you know, coming into these biological families that you see on these different planets in the Omniverse. And this is the stuff that's not being talked about publicly. Trippy Red doesn't talk about it. Lil Durk doesn't talk about it. Jeannie Aiko doesn't talk about it. J. Cole doesn't talk about it. A lot of these so-called woke people, they don't even know about so many Nephilims and reptilians been breeding with humans since like slavery, man. Because the fallen angel Nephilims and reptilians and draconians and the gray aliens and the energy vampire archons, they've been the reason why a lot of spiritual humans, spiritual humanoid extraterrestrials, spiritual archangels, spiritual celestial aliens have been having frustration in the Omniverse because there's so many fallen angels been corrupting this Omniverse, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, if we're talking about just planet Earth for one planet, it's more Nephilims than it is humans. It's more Nephilims than it is humanoid extraterrestrials. It's more Nephilim fallen angels than it is archangels. I know a lot of you spiritual people have been talking about Archangel Michael, Archangel Di, Archangel Weiss, and all that. Look, like we are in a spiritual warfare for real. We're in a spiritual warfare for real. I'm gonna just tell you that. And it's a shame, like when us spiritual people who are like under the radar, we're not well known, we're not famous. So anything we say to the public, it's like the masses can't take it serious because we're not famous people sharing this information. Like, why the fuck we gotta be well known to be taken serious with this information when it's spiritual warfare is like right in front of our faces? You know, I'm gonna just say this, right? When it comes to these Nephilims and fallen angels and draconians, reptilians, gray aliens, the Darrows, and all this stuff that I read about in the holy tablets made by Malachi Z. York, let me tell you this. It is the reason why a lot of us melanated humans and melanated humanoid extraterrestrials in particular have been having frustrations in this simulation existence. Because there's been a lot of reptilians and Nephilim fallen angels, you know, shape-shifting to disguise themselves to look melanated just so they can infiltrate and destroy the whole Omniverse and destroy the multiverses in the Omniverse from multiverse 1 through multiverse 55 and etc. Like, this stuff is no joke, man. And this is the reason why, like, a lot of us spiritual beings, a lot of us spiritual humans, spiritual humanoid extraterrestrials, and spiritual archangel celestial beings, that's the reason why we're not out here just, you know, mating with just anybody. Because just because someone looks human like myself, that doesn't mean that they are actually human. They could be a whole reptilian, a Nephilim disguise. Like, we've been studying this stuff since the beginning of time, for real. Like, this type of information you're not going to find on Google. You're not going to find in school systems. You're not going to find in you're not going to find it in you're not going to find it with a lot of people. You got to just like be one of those spiritual people that got to be real deep on the internet, and you come across me to find this information for real. Like, this stuff is so ridiculous how these fallen angels and Nephilims and draconians and reptilians, they have not been killed off yet. Like, how are they, like, how did these damn demon realm beings keep finding a way to reproduce and still exist? Like, how are they finding ways to do this? Like, we need to find these demon realm beings like secret layers so we could eradicate them. That's the best way we can do this. You know, it's a shame that Martin Luther King never found out about this information, or Malcolm X, or Rosa Parks, or any other people that came before us, spiritual Generation Z people that's speaking out on this stuff. And yes, I am way deeper than Huey Freeman. Huey Freeman, he didn't even know about these reptilians and nephilims, disguising to be human, tearing up like Earth. He was just stuck on this black and white thing. This stuff is way deeper than skin color, ethnicity. This stuff is about demons versus humans, demons versus humanoid extraterrestrials, demon realm beings versus archangels. Like the list goes on, man. I had a spiritual person that never met me in person that told me one time in conversation that, man, like you're more of a damn archangel spirit than a human. And I asked him, like, what do you mean by that? Because, like, your intelligence is something that's, like, not of this earth. And it's starting to make a lot of damn sense. It's starting to make a lot of damn sense. The reason why I do have a lot of celestial alien characteristics, like, for real. I do have celestial alien characteristics. Like, my way of thinking is not something that, majority of the NPCs, the zombies, soulless beings can't even relate to. So I get it. I still consider myself a humanoid extraterrestrial though. And for a lot of people that tuned in with me, that talked with me, man, you already know what it is with me. You already know what my humanoid extraterrestrial lineage is from. So, man, this stuff is sick, man. I wish that nephilims and great aliens, reptilians and draconians and all these energy vampire, demonic, narcissistic beings did not even exist. Like, how did they even came into existence? How did they even find their way? How did they even find their way to the cosmo realms? Like, how did the fuck they do it? How did these energy vampire beings do it? However they found their way, however these demon realm beings found their way to the cosmo realms, man, they need to get fucking smited down and eradicated just as fast as they came into the cosmo realms, man. Like, for real. Like, this stuff is sick, y'all. This stuff is sick, man. I'm just really done with this damn simulation. It's too many fallen angels and reptilians and draconian demon realm beings. For a lot of you people out there that think it's still about ethnicity versus the ethnicity, black versus white, you need to stop it right now. It was never about that, yo. Because let me prove this to you. If it was always about ethnicity versus ethnicity, why would we hear about stories about quote unquote black on black crime if it was always about ethnicity versus another ethnicity? If it was about ethnicity versus another ethnicity, we wouldn't hear about black on black crime. You wouldn't hear about, a cousin or a brother like hating on somebody that looked like them. If it was ethnicity versus ethnicity, see, this whole black and white thing, they got you guys confused. It was always reptilians and nephilims versus humans and humanoid extraterrestrials. It's always been like that. It's always been like that. And sadly, you're not learning this in college. You're not learning this in high school. You're not learning this in any curriculum. So this is the reason why it's very important to, watch the vibrational people that you see in person and on the internet too, but mainly in person. It's going to be more fallen angel demons that you see in person than you would on the internet. That's all I'm going to tell you. Because I can tell you this. I learned from firsthand experience, people. I've learned that not everyone that looks human like me, got the same skin color like me, got the same hair type like me, is one of my people. And it's starting to make a lot of sense. Because, like, I know Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X was talking about how the Caucasian people didn't like them. But in my experience, the people that been having beef with me is the damn reptilians that would shapeshift to look melanated like me and beef with me. And I'm like, That just proved everything. That just proved it was never about ethnicity versus ethnicity, man. This stuff is a spiritual warfare. This stuff is beyond the physical. We in a spiritual battle, not a physical battle, man. If you don't know anything about nephilims and reptilians and draconians, you need to get to know it now. Because I just share you the gems. I gave you the tea. I gave you all the gems on this information. I can't stress this enough, soul family. I cannot stress this enough. Can't stress this enough, man. And this is the reason why I always watch what I drink, most importantly. Because what we drink has more influence on everything. This is the reason why I don't drink alcohol. Because alcohol has human blood and animal blood put into it to put people under MK Ultra. I bet you all didn't know about that, did you? Of course, they're not going to tell you that in the ingredients or tell it to the public because they want the masses to be fooled. They told people, oh, if you drink alcohol, you're going to be the most spiritually intelligent being in history. They fucking lied to you all asses, man. Like, come on, man. Man, they even had a commercial back then. They even had a commercial with Smokey the Bear telling kids, stay away from drugs. Even though that shit was in a comical form, Smokey the Bear was fucking serious, telling kids to stay away from drugs. Like, come on, man. I'm gonna tell you all, man. And this is what makes me different from a lot of Generation Z people in North America, for that continent. I'm like one of the few people of Generation Z who don't smoke and don't drink alcohol, man, because I know that shit kills your vibrations. I know that shit weakens you. I know that shit is filled with energy vampires to attach yourself.